So let me start off, Sadhguru, by asking you that you probably are the biggest multitasker that I have met in my life. You are into sharing wonderful things with people, millions of people, and you find the time to play golf, and you ride a motorcycle like a champion. I don't know what all you do. How do you manage your time?
That last thing was not a good thing. I don't know what all you do, it's not a good thing.
No, that is a sense of amazement. And there are people who are very busy people, and so we believe we are very busy people. We would like to know as to how you manage your time and what is the kind of advice you would like to give us so that life beyond work is a lot more meaningful, at least a little more meaningful than what we lead, a little closer to the kind of meaningful life that you lead.
From what I observe from people, as I travel more and more, meet various kinds of people in business, academics, science, and regular people all over the world, what I see is most people in the 24 hours that we have per day, they're more preoccupied than busy. That is, their own thoughts and their own emotions are such a big issue that most of their time is spent dealing with that. They may be working, but in their work, a lot of struggles are within themselves. If you are in any kind of sport or any creativity, you would know that a little struggle means your ball will go somewhere else, your ragam, thalam will go somewhere else, your painting will go somewhere else, nothing will happen properly. Or in other words, what could happen very simply, unfortunately happens with lots of difficulty. This is mainly because they have been given a phenomenal gadget or a phenomenal machine, which is the human mechanism, above all, a phenomenal dimension called the mind. They are trying to operate this phenomenal machine or a gadget or a computer, if you'd like to call it, without reading the user's manual. Every day struggling with their own stuff, and it doesn't get solved before they're 20 or something. Till their last day on their deathbed, they're still struggling with the same things, their thoughts and their emotions. If they learn to sort this out very early in their life, I'm sure they can work half the number of hours that they're working and be a lot more productive than the way they are right now. My effort is to bring this possibility to people's lives, that you can live life with ease, not with struggle. One thing is, when we say work, it's many young people, wonderful people who are getting recognized for whatever wonderful things they have done, leaving them apart, but generally work means always been… people have been taught that they must work hard. Nobody told them they must work joyfully. Nobody told them their work should be an expression of their joy or their love. They have to work hard. If you work hard, life will be tedious. How else will it be? You will do something hard only because you don't know how to do it. If you know how to do it, you would do it with ease. So without learning how to do something, if we try to do it, without investing enough time in perception, if life is all expression, then life becomes a big struggle. Most people are not doing anything except earning a living, maybe reproducing and dying one day. Nothing more. They may believe they're doing many things, but this is all they're doing. Eating, sleeping, reproducing, dying one day. That is such a big fuss. Every other creature is able to do this, from an earthworm to an insect to anything and anything. Everybody is doing this. They all earn their own living, they eat, they sleep, they reproduce and they die. With 1/1,000,000th of our brain, they're able to do it. With this big brain, human beings are struggling not with the things that they're doing, they're struggling with the brain itself. Their own intelligence has become a serious problem. What is the biggest boon in our life? What is the greatest benefaction in our life, which is our intelligence? This has become a problem because they don't know how to hold it, they don't know how to use it, constantly it works against themselves. When I say it works against you, people may call all kinds of names, may use all kinds of words to describe this. They may call it stress, they may call it tension, they may call it misery, they may call it depression, they may call it anxiety, they may call it madness. Essentially, it's your intelligence turned against you. Your intelligence is not working for you, it's working against you. So my fundamental work is this, that at least your body and your mind should work for you. Nobody else may work for you, it doesn't matter. At least your body and your intelligence must work for you. If this one thing happens, you living blissfully, gracefully, effectively is a natural consequence.
Virabhadra. Virabhadra is a small element of Shiva. Shiva himself personally did not want to get into violent mood, so he took a strand of his hair and created Virabhadra. A situation arose in Shiva's life where a great injustice happened, out of which his wife Sati became a victim of that. And she immolated herself. When he heard this, he wanted to act, but parts of him were so still that he was not made for action. So he pulled out a strand of his hair and created Virabhadra. Vira means a valiant one, a courageous one. The word Vira essentially comes from the word Virya. Virya means the sperm, the seed, out of which a human being is born. These two aspects are so directly connected. That is, the significant aspect of Shiva's life is that he never spilled his sperm. So the significance of this is just this, the fundamental vital energy in the system, instead of letting it go in a physiological manner or a physical manner which will lead to reproduction, he used the same energy to hit the peak of consciousness. He spilled from the top of his head. No yogi can be called a yogi unless he spills from the top of his head. So, Virabhadra was just a hair, a strand of hairs. He went and performed single-handedly. He went and slaughtered the armies of the king who caused this injustice. The story is trying to say that because Shiva has pulled his Virya from the top of his head. His hair is that potent. Just one strand of hair could destroy a whole army. And once a human being is not involved in the reproductive process, naturally his attachment to the body is very minimal. Once his attachment to the body is minimal, his sense of fear will not exist. Once there is no fear, he is naturally a valiant. That is the consequence of this.
At one point, Krishna says like this, that where people sing, laugh, cry, dance, without any sense of hesitation or shame, such people will purify the universe. So this is not just a celebration, this is also purification of the world. It's been most fantastic having all of you here. If every day in your life, no matter what is the nature of your work, what is the nature of our life situations, if you can remain playful like this, exuberant like this, you're liberated. That's what it means. The daily process of life is taking more toll than it should on most human beings. To eat, to sleep, maybe reproduce or choose not to and die one day, we're making too much fuss. This Mahashivaratri, it's my wish and my blessing. This should become a turning point for you to take your life a little more playfully. You're too dead serious, that's the whole problem about too many things. Well, you can live death joyfully, whether you like it or not. This is the dying self. Either you can live death joyfully, or you can become dead serious and suffer everything that happens to you. Well, this many people with such a sense of involvement, exuberance and participation, I don't think it happens anywhere else. I hope it happens in many places. I hope this happens all over the world, not just here, because this is what is needed, that we can be together without knowing who you are, joyfully, no matter who you are, what you are, but it is possible for human beings to be like this. So this night, what you have lived, please make it a part of your life and see how you can include anybody and everybody into this, because this is what the world needs. World needs little more playfulness. This being damn serious about everything, making small things so big. Little things in life are taking people's lives. Like the Vice President was mentioning, there are a huge number of people taking their own lives. Suicide. Children below 18 years of age committing suicide in India. Below 15 years of age, nearly 8,000 children committed suicide last year, below 15 years of age. So, obviously, the problem is we're taking everything too seriously, even the stupid schooling we're taking very seriously. Yes. So, This is a possibility that if you do a little bit of work, the yogi has offered us innumerable ways of how you can transform the very energy that you are. Your geometry, your chemistry and your energies can be transformed into such an alignment with everything around you that life becomes utterly playful. And I want you to remember, it's a brief sparkle of life that you have. Before you were born, you were dead for a very long time. And when you die, you will be dead for a very, very long time. You're alive for a very brief amount of time. This time should happen in a most pleasant and wonderful way to yourself and everybody else around you. This is what Mahashivratri is about. So you have demonstrated it's possible for you. It doesn't matter who is next to you, not knowing their name, not knowing where they come from, what they have done in their life, you can sing and dance with them. You have demonstrated this, that it is possible. Please let's make it happen in your lives and in the world that we live in. There can't be a better crowd anywhere. In such a mass of people, absolute discipline and joy, this is truly wonderful. This is the kind of world that we need to create, that we can be with just about any kind of people joyfully. This is what is needed. Don't put too many conditions on your joy. This is the important thing. Do not put too many conditions. I'm not joyful because this person said this, that person said that, he did this, he did that. They passed a law in this country. Well, everything you can conduct joyfully. Joyful does not mean you give up purpose of life. You can pursue whatever purpose you want to much more efficiently if you are playful and joyful. This is what is important. Make use of this night as a foundation to create that for yourself and everybody else around you.
Sadhguru, so whenever I keep talking to people around me about Kaveri calling and, just give them some awareness about this. I tell them that there's focus on farmers who have to plant trees on the farms. So they keep asking, why is just the focus on the farmers who wants to plant the trees?
Because they have the land. What, these people are going to plant it on their head or what?
No, so they ask, is it, if I plant a tree in my house, won't that help Kaveri? Will it have the same impact?
It will help, but how many acres of land do you have? In your apartment, you're going to put one in your balcony.
That's not gonna help anyways. Okay.
See, right now there are enough studies in similar lands where it clearly says, if you plant 10,000 trees in congruent land, it's important. One tree here, one tree there won't help. It needs to be in congruent land. This is what I said. Why I was always drawn to the forest is, if I close my eyes and sat, boom, it was going on. Life, simply life energy. Today there are lots of scientific studies. When I said this, the problem is, my skin color is not good. No, I'm made of chocolate, that's a different matter. But in the world, my skin color is not good. If I say something, they'll say, oh, this is all rubbish, what is he talking about? Now it comes from the West. Now Western scientists are saying that trees are like large families, they're all connected, they nourish each other, there is communication among them, so much is happening there. They have noticed electrical impulses. The best thing is, in the tree roots, electrical impulses are going at the rate of 3/4 of an inch in 1 second. This is the slowest electrical impulse that you found anywhere. This is too fantastic. Because if you can slow down electrical impulse, there is so many things you can do in healthcare, in nuclear sciences, in variety of things. You can do so many… In computer science, you can do fantastic things if you can slow down the electrical impulse. But the plants have already mastered this. They are moving 3/4 of an inch per second. Everywhere electricity is passing too fast, that's why you can't store it. That's why the batteries technology doesn't really take off, because electrical impulse cannot be controlled in speed. But plants are doing it for a long time. For millions of years they have the technology. So, now they're measuring all these things and saying something fantastic is happening. And in every forest, for a region, there is one mother tree, and she's taking care of everybody else there, and she's nourishing them, giving out impulses, giving out information, all kinds of things. Even trees which have been cut, all the other trees are nourishing the tree. They've found all these things now, and now they're saying all kinds of things. When we said it, it was stupid, because, they don't understand the value of being chocolatey. So these things are coming out now. So what we need to understand is, trees must be in congruent land. One tree, still it helps, but not great. It needs to create an ecosystem and buzz like this. You hear all this? Not just the insects, it's just buzzing like that, life. It needs to buzz like that if the planet has to regenerate itself in a huge way. If soil has to regenerate itself, it needs to buzz like that with life. And that'll not happen if you plant one coconut tree in your house. I hope it lands on your head. Enlightenment could happen. Rivers have been the lifelines of this nation and of every nation in a way. We are a culture, a civilization which have grown out of a riverbank. All rivers in India are at a dangerous level of depletion. That means, in another 15 to 20 years' time, most of our rivers will be seasonal, they will not be perennial. If you just fly over India, you look down, you will see entire India looks like brown desert. All rivers are drying up like this. Krishna is not touching the ocean almost 4 months. Kaveri, 2.5 months to 3 months, it doesn't touch the ocean. When rain comes, it floods, otherwise there is nothing. A river which has flown for 1,000,000 years, in one generation, if we kill it,
யாரு காவேரியாருங்க 60 வருஷம் ஆகுதுங்க எனக்கு. ஒரு நாளையில் இப்படி காஞ்சி போனது இல்லைங்க. தண்ணியெல்லாம் நிறைய வருது. இவ்வளோ நாளைக்கு முற்பாடு இப்போ தானுங்க இப்படி காஞ்சி போச்சு.
And water scarcity in parts of Bihar's Lakhisarai district is forcing people to literally dig up a river in search of water. The last 4 to 5 years, the river has been almost drying up. With dams, wells as well as rivers drying up in Jharkhand's Jamtara.
A time has come where how to exploit the water is gone. We need to see how to regenerate the river. The rivers in this nation are essentially forest-fed. Forest-fed river means precipitation happens. Because of vegetation, it is held, and drop by drop, it is let off. It becomes small rivulets, and rivulets become streams, streams become rivers. So what do we have to do for this? It's very simple. For every major river, 1 kilometer on either side, there must be plantation. If it's government land, forest. If it's farmland, from regular farming to horticulture. Very easily, we can enhance the farmer's income 3 to 8 times in a matter of 4 to 6 years' time. The farmer will need support, economic and material support, to go through this period and come out as a prosperous farmer. If this has to happen, we must make a policy, we must give them subsidy. It needs resolute political action, executive action is needed, policy. In the month of September, we are planning a river rally, that is, I'm personally driving, covering 16 states, having major events, to create a very strong awareness in the country that the rivers of this nation are dying. This has to be done in a very organized way. Madhya Pradesh is the first state which responded to my call.
मैं सदगुरु जी के पास बैठा था, उनसे चर्चा हो रही थी, तो उनने भी मुझे कहा कि शिवराज, नर्मदा जी बचानी चाहिए और उसके लिए पेड़ लगाने का अभियान प्रारंभ होना चाहिए।
If our rivers deplete in our own lifetime, we are clearly making a statement that we are not interested in the future of our children. It is heartening to see today that all of you in great enthusiasm participating in this movement gives us confidence that we are not going to destroy this nation. For thousands of years, these rivers have embraced us and nourished us. A time has come when we have to embrace the river and nourish the river, because the greatness of our nation depends upon the great rivers in our country.
Those in central India have to walk for miles to get their glass of water.
We have a population of 1.3 billion people. I want you to just look at this possibility. No water, 1.3 billion people. The civil strife that will happen. What will happen to human beings when there is no water to drink? You can forget about humanity. Something else will take force. Every human being consumes water, air, everything else, food, land, all of us consume, there's no choice about it. But when it comes to doing compensatory action, very few people are doing it. This is the disaster on the planet. Something so fundamental as water, if rivers stop flowing, large tracts of India will turn into graveyards. If we don't do the right things in the next 10 years, 15 years' time, it could be too late. If we successfully make this into a policy, this will be a landmark thing that's happened in the history of independent India. So this needs to be done right. In such a way, there's no ambiguity about whether it'll happen or not, it has to happen.
This is once in a lifetime, not in our lives, once in a lifetime in a nation's life. I beseech all of you to participate in this in whatever way you can. When I say all of you, I mean everyone who consumes water. To have our rivers flowing, to leave this land rich and well is the best gift we can offer to the future generations of this nation. This is not a protest, this is not an agitation. This is a campaign to create awareness that our rivers are depleting. Everyone who consumes water must rally for rivers.
See you soon for more discoveries and learning. Don't forget to subscribe and invite your friends to be part of this community of mutual growth.